I believe. So depending on when you watch it, it's probably not a Tuesday. So if it happens to be, just let me know in the comment section. That would be pretty cool. So as you're coming in, a like is going to go a long way. So today we're covering the sneaky secret ways that, well, one way that real estate agents should be leveraging to get real estate leads. So this is a overlooked, often underutilized way of capturing real information and start real conversations with your clients, with your future clients. So that's what it's about. So we're talking about a great way to get real contact information and start meaningful conversations that ultimately lead into into deals. So we're talking about, it doesn't matter if we're talking about buyers, doesn't matter if we're talking about sellers. You have conversations with both of these types of clients. So this strategy is although it's a little bit on the secret side, it's a little bit on the sneaky side in a good way. It's, again, it's a underutilized platform that we're going to cover. I'm going to go in depth on how to actually apply it at a high level. So this is not something that you need to purchase a software. This isn't something that you need hours and hours and hours of prep on. This is something that you can implement today. I'm going to give you different ways to do that. So as you're coming in, let me know in the comments section. Just whenever I go live on location, it's I think the comments come through. So we're gonna test that out today. So again, we're looking at the sneaky way to get some real estate leads, especially for you real estate agents out there, and that is through text marketing. So text marketing is heavily underutilized right now, and as I mentioned, we're gonna go through. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Great to have you on. Thank you for joining. So as we're talking about text marketing, let's understand what it is. So we all know what texting is. So whenever you're sending messages on your phones to another individual, we're talking about that type of communication. And when we're talking about, good morning, Daryl, appreciate you hopping on. When we're talking about text marketing, we're talking about having a conversation with your leads, whether they're buyer leads or seller leads. We're having conversations via text. And it's no different than email marketing. The only difference there is that with email marketing, you're sending emails to continue the conversation. On text, you're sending text. Now, there's some key reasons why we're actually using text over email, and specifically in this video, because one, it's underutilized. So it's a very green type of marketing that not a lot of real estate agents are really operating at a high level with. So there's some agents out there using it in a micro level, but I'm going to share with you how to go macro with it and start generating leads by volumes and start conversations by volumes. So one thing I want you to remember when it comes to text marketing, if you go to your phone right now, you're probably going to see, if you're like me, you're going to see all the notifications done away with, because I'm very that way. So I have to make sure that I have no notifications on my phone. But if you're like most people, you're going to see something pretty interesting. When you go to your phone, you're going to see the app that goes to your email that's going to have a number. Some people are going to have 10 unread emails. Some are going to have 10,000 unread emails. So what you're going to find there is that a lot of individuals are not reading their emails. But one interesting thing you're going to also notice is that in the text app, so you're going to have that email app and you have that text app. Well, your email app is going to have 10,000 unread emails, but your text app is going to very rarely have any unread texts. So what that tells us is that, one, people are reading them and opening them. So they're opening and reading the messages. So why would we not want to use a mechanism of marketing that we can directly reach to a consumer and directly have them open whatever it is that we're trying to share with them? So again, that's that text marketing aspect. So that's a big differentiator in the text marketing space, because again, you have the deliverability rates are insane. Simply because you have somebody's phone number, means that you're going to be able to send that text directly to them. So, and I'll share with you a strategy on how to actually get their get their real phone number without them knowing that, hey, I'm being marketed to. So just giving you some different ways to do that. So as you're coming in, let me know where you're listening from today. I want to make sure I accommodate and acknowledge you for joining us in the live setting. So I appreciate you hopping on. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about text marketing. So when it comes to text marketing, we need to treat it very similarly to email marketing. So remember, with email marketing, you're using email as the modality of communication. That's how you are communicating. It's in a written form, but it's through email. Now, very much the same thing with texting. With text, you want to capture as many phone numbers as possible. You want as many people as possible reaching out to you or opting in to whatever it is that you're offering. So, opting into your marketing. Now, this is where we also need to draw the similarities with emails and texting. You do need to abide by anti-spamming laws. So with texting, you don't have the permission to continue texting to people that didn't necessarily solicit that. So just be aware of that. Now, this is an illegal channel. This is a marketing channel. So when it comes to the actual legalities, specifically in your country, in your state, in your region, make sure that you read up on those. So there's no way for me to cover all of them. Just understand that there are some restrictions to this marketing. So don't think that I'm going to get a phone book or I'm going to purchase all this data and just I'm going to bam, 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 send all these messages out. That's a great way to get in trouble. So I can't tell you the law by definition, the exact law, but I can tell you that that is going to get you in trouble, and that's not what I'm suggesting. So what we need to do is we need that permission, we need that opt-in in order to have that permission to communicate back and forth. And there's several ways that you can do the opt-in. So one thing to understand is as we get going, when we're talking about text marketing, there's two options. Hey Ariel, good morning, Clarksville, Tennessee. I love it. I love it. Tennessee is awesome. Well, I have a lot of mixed emotions about Tennessee, to be honest with you. I have two failed businesses there. But that's another story. So that's that. I'm gonna incorporate a story time with Jaime in the very near future on how I lost a lot of money to Dave Ramsey by out of all people, Dave Ramsey, right? The one that teaches us how to save. But when it comes to hey, good morning. I can't read the name. Sorry. Good morning. I just disappeared. I'm sorry. But so good morning. Thanks so much for joining. When it comes to the way that you actually communicate back and forth with text marketing, there is an automated way and there's a manual way. We're going to talk both of those today, but when we're talking about the automated way is I'm talking about software. I'm talking about something that you purchase that you will automatically have the messages go back and forth. Now, software such as I wrote them down because I always forget. Simple texting. So write this down. Simple texting. Twilio, that's my preferred one. Twilio is my preferred one. And then you have Textedly. So Textedly. So Textedly. So those are the three that I would recommend when it comes to the automated way of sending out messages. So that's the automated route. So text messaging, that's what we're talking about. The manual way is using your cell phone. Now, some of you may not be willing to do your cell phone number, and that's completely okay. I value your privacy as well. But understand that if you don't want to spend 10, 30, 50, $100, depending on the size of your texting, the people that you're texting, that if you don't have that budget or don't want to spend that money in these software, you don't have to. Just make sure that you're okay with doing everything manually. So manually means texting people back, and I'll share with you how that actually happens. Now, what's important here about text marketing, and again, we're talking about the real estate lead generation strategy on getting people's information. What's more important to us is getting that opt in. The automated versus manual, that's something that we can address at a later date. That's not something that you should worry about too much starting out. What you do need to worry about starting out immediately is how you're going to start conversations. How are you going to get people opting into your messages and going back and forth? Some of the ways that you can get opt-ins is to run contests. You can run contests on whether you're doing a giveaway, whether you're doing something like a travel package, a home decor package, what have you. So an Amazon gift card. So you're doing giveaways. Another way to get opt-ins is by running a poll. So running a this or that scenario. So whenever you're posting on social media, as an example, hey, making a poll of, hey, should we do this or should we do that? Text X, Y, and Z to vote. You see this a lot in schools. You see this a lot in in games. Like if you've gone to NBA games, NFL games, any types of games, they ask you to text blank and blank. Sometimes they'll do that for polls, sometimes they'll do that for giveaways. So that's a way to get people to opt in, because now they have your real information. That's the secret sauce. So in case you didn't catch that, whenever somebody texts you, that is the sneaky strategy. That is the secret sauce, that you now have real information. You have real phone numbers that you can now start conversations with. So those are just two easy ways. One that is starting to be adopted a little bit more by real estate agents, and I'm really happy to see that, is by putting a text code on your yard signs. So putting a text Jaime to 94039 and then putting your phone number. Whenever somebody texts Jaime, they're going to either get information about the property, they're going to get information about myself as a service, they're going to get information. So that's basically what we're doing. LOL. Yeah, no. So I'm going to assume that that was about my Tennessee experience. So when it comes to, which one of these days I'll talk about it, but when it comes to the whole yard signs, you can create individual yard signs where where you place your yard signs, very similar to Supras. You know the Supra keys, and then they have their unique identifier. So you know that that unifier means this property. So you can put individual writers, such as text house to, and then put a phone number. Well, you know that if somebody is texting house, you can connect that to a particular property that you are marketing. So that way you don't have to continue printing rider after rider after rider on your yard signs. That's the appropriate way of deploying that system. So let me know, is that making sense in the comment section down below? This is one of the most strategic ways that you can get real phone information, real contact information from people, because what you're going to find if you put these sign writers on, hey Jim, good morning, appreciate you being on. If you put these sign writers on your yard signs, what you can pretty much take to the bank is that more people are going to text you than are going to call you. So this is a great way to get those looky-loos, the people that are interested, that would like to get more information but a little bit self-conscious about calling, or calling is not in their nature. So that's a great way of inviting those people to have a conversation with you. So again, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at taking real contact information and um, ultimately we have and then we ultimately have that conversation. So that's what's awesome. As far as the rest of the opt-ins, again, social media posts are super powerful. That's something that you have. I believe KV Core allows you to do this also. Daryl, you're absolutely right. So that goes back to the software option. We have what's called a smartphone number. The smartphone number is something that you have a code, a unique code that you can attach to. You have universal smartphone code that goes to your smartphone number, and then you can attach that to anything you want. Now you also have the ability of uniquely tying a property to a certain code, whatever you want. Let's just say 123 Main Street, and then you can assign that to your smartphone number. So whenever somebody types in 123 Main Street to your smartphone number, what comes back is the information on the property. And you can do that at scale. So again, we're talking about KV Core right there. There you're talking about smart numbers, and you're talking about KV Core. So I understand not everyone has KV Core, but that's just a functionality. And there's other CRMs that do that. There's other software that do that. But even if you don't have a software, if you don't have that type of stuff, you can always, always, always use your cell phone. So whenever you're posting on social media, whenever you're posting on Craigslist, as an example, that's where I really use it and lean on it heavily, whenever you're posting on Craigslist and on Facebook Marketplace, you can put text 123 Main Street to, and then put my phone number. So now I know, hey, I need to respond to these individuals. So I need to respond to the people that are texting 123 Main Street because they want more information. So there, I manually have to copy the link and send it over to them, or copy the information that I promised and send it to the individuals instead of it being automated. So that's where that trade-off comes. You can go down the automated route, understanding that that's going to cost you probably some money. Actually, absolutely, it's going to cost you money, but it's going to save you time. Or you can go down the manual way, where it will cost you money outside of you having the phone, which you're going to have anyway, but it will cost you a little bit more time because you're the one that physically has to do that. So that's the trade-off. So what's more important at the end of the day when we're talking about text marketing is getting as many people as possible to be aware of our offer, whether we're offering information about the home, whether we're offering a poll, whether we're offering a giveaway, whatever it is that we're offering for them to opt in, is getting out in front of as many people as possible, incentivizing them to reach out to us, and then we start the nurture, then we start the conversation. So, one important thing to understand though is that when we're talking about starting a conversation with an individual, it does 100% matter where that conversation started. If you made a poll, then there's a certain amount of follow up that you can have if you simply created a poll. If you created a hey, good afternoon, hey, hope you're doing well. So if you created a giveaway as an example, well, there's a certain amount of exchange of information that you can have after that, because what you don't want to happen is to exhaust that relationship because you start messaging so frequently when all they did was send you information because they wanted to get into that drawing. So what I'm saying is, what you're offering as a value, what you're offering as an opportunity to opt into your network, into your text marketing strategy, well, that matters, because you're not going to be given the free reins to email them, to text them, to, well, you won't have their email, but you're not going to be able to text them night in and night out. It does depend what you offer them. So make sure that you're aware of that. Now, a perfect, and I mean perfect example of somebody that's using this at a high level is actually a friend of this channel, Kyle Seagraves, Win the House You Love. So he's on YouTube. So he's got a mega channel over there. He's actually a loan originator, so a loan officer. So go check him out, Kyle Seagraves, Win the House You Love. If you go to his YouTube channel, as soon as you hit that like button right here, and you go over to his channel, what you're gonna find is on his banner is text for real estate, or something about real estate tips, and then he has a smartphone number. He has a number that is sending out updated information, so tips. So that offer is very clear. He's offering tips on buying a home. So when people text that, they know to expect, hey, Kyle's going to send me some information about buying a home and tips for that. So just giving you a quick heads up on a great representation of how to do that at a high level, because he is absolutely crushing it. All right, folks. Well, text marketing, go out there and implement it. It is a secret. It is a secret. It is the sneaky secret way to get real estate leads and get them en masse. It's heavily underutilized. So real estate agents, go out there and implement that today. It's a fantastic way to get real phone numbers and start real conversations. Bye.